What's up, y'all? Today I got the psychological horror, torture porn, mystery film for y'all. This is Saw 2004. Just a really great and disgusting movie, directed and written by James Wan. Now let's watch a trailer and let's get into it.
Hello, Dr. Gordon. I want to play a game. Your aim is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it.
The newspapers started calling him the Jigsaw Killer.
Looks like our friend Jigsaw likes to book himself front row seats to his own sick little games.
You can be the one who put me in this room!
We're gonna have to work together if we want to get out of here.
What is it, Sweet Pea?
There's a man in my room.
What are you doing to them, you bastard?
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore.
To overcome something, you have to understand what a perfect engine it is. He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through our feet.
Sick bastard.
Yes, I'm sick, officer.
There's a way out of here! There's a way out!
I'm sick of it all. We're out of time.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Yeah, so what's up, y'all? I want to play a game. What's up? It's your boy Diego, back in this world of cinematics, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got another banger for y'all. This is Saw, the psychological horror, mystery horror type film, and there's a lot of gore in this thing as well, so I would classify it as a as a gore or a torture porn type film. There's a lot of torture and torment, but mostly it's like a psychological thriller and a mystery type film. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of plot twists. So yeah, let's jump straight into this one. First off, it was a major success in the box office, grossing approximately 103.9 million worldwide against the production budget of 1.2 million. So yeah, just a massive success, you know, like 10 times the production budget is what it brought in the box office, basically. Film was shot in just 18 days with no exterior shots, relying on a single bathroom setup to create this claustrophobic vibe. Yeah, this is a classic. You know, I think everybody knows about this movie. I seen one of these movies when I was a kid. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, there's a bunch of Saw movies. I think it was the third one or something like that. Really good movie, and scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, you know. So the inspiration behind this film, the concept originated from Wannell's fear of having a brain tumor during severe migraines. Now, Wannell is one of the writers of this thing. Let me just get his full name for y'all. Lee Wannell. So it was written by Lee Wannell and James Wan. And Lee Wannell also plays Adam in this film, so one of the captives that wakes up in this bathroom warehouse, fucking abandoned building, scary as shit. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Concept originated from Wannell's fear of having a brain tumor during severe migraines, leading to the character of John Kramer, Jigsaw, who designs deadly games to teach victims the value of life. Interesting. The directors gambled on the project by taking no upfront salary in exchange for a percentage of returns. To pitch the film, they produced a short film based on script's jaw trap scene, which successfully attracted producers from Twisted Pictures. So yeah, they used this jaw trap scene, which is a really crazy scene. Basically a girl with this contraption. She wakes up with this contraption on her face, and once the timer starts, if she doesn't find the key and get out, the key is in a man's stomach who has got a severe dose of opioids in his system, so he's not feeling any of the pain when she's ripping through his stomach to get the key. And she does successfully get out of it, but it's completely traumatizing, In the film's opening trap sequence, the intestines used as props for Amanda Young's reverse bear trap tests were actually pig intestines covered in fake blood. So yeah, that's the scene or the pitch of the film I was just talking about. Many of the film's scare scenes were based on actual nightmares that Wan and Wannell experienced as children, grounding the supernatural tension in personal psychological fears. Interesting, okay. The movie is often cited as a pioneer of the torture porn genre, of course, and is frequently analyzed for its thematic proximity to post-9/11 anxieties and the war on terrorism, particularly in its depiction of coerced confessions and torture. Now, yeah, this thing was just a monster in the box office, and it's a monster of a film of the torture porn genre, and the the captive, the kidnapped, or the feeling of helplessness being at somebody's bidding. You wake up in a building and you're trapped. And basically this guy is so sadistic, this killer, this serial killer, that he makes you play a game of life and death and really tests your will to survive. How much do you want it? Are you willing to kill somebody else? Are you willing to mutilate yourself to get out of this trap, to stay alive? Is basically the premise of the movie, but there's a lot of other shit going on in here, which we'll get to. So that's why I say it's more of a psychological mystery thriller with a lot of torture porn and gore aspects factored in here. So yeah, it's definitely got a lot going on, and I think that's what made it such a big hit in the box office, is because people were scared, they had their emotions involved, they were wondering who was behind it all, who's the killer, is it this guy, is it that guy, so yeah, really interesting film. I will say that I do think the whole Saw franchise or series is a bit overrated in my opinion, but this first film really did it for me. It was scary, it was interesting, it was fucked up to say the least. Yeah, now let's get into the cast a bit here. I'm only going to mention a few of the main characters. So as I mentioned, Adam, played by Lee Wannell, one of the writers. And then we got the other victim starting this film out in the abandoned warehouse. Dr. Lawrence Gordon, a surgeon, I guess, played by Carrie Ells. Now, yeah, a really great character in Lawrence Gordon, Dr. Lawrence Gordon. He's a family man. He loves his family, but he's kind of a workaholic and, kind of selfish. He doesn't really have time or he doesn't want to give attention or love or to anything except his work, really, and his family if he gets time, if he gets the chance. But no, he definitely loves his family, and a very intelligent, professional man. A reasonable man. He wants to find a way out of this trap, and he wants to think and, use his brains, use his wit to find a way out. Whereas Adam is kind of just like freaking out in panic mode, and he's kind of having anxiety, having panic attacks, and saying, why the hell am I here? What happened? So you get these two working together throughout the film, and it's just a crazy psychological mind fuck of a ride that this movie takes you on. Next up, we got Detective David Tapp, played by Danny Glover. Now, Danny Glover's in this movie. I like him in the movie. I think the character's done well. He's a detective who ends up getting fired because he's too obsessed over this case. He's too obsessed with catching the serial killer. It gets to the point where he's stalking innocent people because he thinks they're the killers, but they're actually not. He ends up stalking Lawrence Gordon because this killer Jigsaw ends up trying to frame Mr. Gordon as the killer, but he's obviously completely innocent. But yeah, Danny Glover, David Tapp in this movie, he's just a really good cop, and he's a really deep thinker, and he really wants to get to the bottom of this case. He can't really sleep, he can't really rest properly until he finds this killer. Some cops or good detectives are like that. They get really involved in the case emotionally, psychologically, and etc. They really want to take this fucker down. And then his partner, Detective Steven Singh, Chinese or some type of Asian guy, played by Ken Luang. And then I'll mention Zepp. So Zepp is basically a contract killer that Jigsaw hires. He kind of looks like Jigsaw, so you think he's the killer, but no. Zepp, played by Michael Emerson. Then I'll mention Amanda. I believe she's in the scene with the jaw ripping contraption. Amanda, played by Shawnee Smith. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And then, of course, I'll mention Jigsaw. Jigsaw is, he's just a sadistic, evil motherfucker. He's basically insane. He likes to teach people lessons by inflicting pain, torture, psychological torment. He's bitter, and it's, the motive's not always known throughout this movie. He's kind of just an old man who has a hatred for humanity and people in particular who take their blessings for granted, take their healthy bodies for granted, because I guess he's got a tumor or some type of cancer that he's dying. He's so he's bitter about dying and having a mortal body, I guess, and he wants to be known as the infamous Jigsaw killer who sets these contraptions up and these games, he calls them, giving people a chance to live, but really in most of these games there's no chance. It's completely sadistic. He's got crazy disturbing traps set up for people where there's basically no way out, and if they do get out, they're scarred for life, and they'll never be the same, as is the case with this Amanda chick who does escape. So yeah, man, this is just a crazy movie from start to finish. If you want to feel scared by one, if you want to think deep on one, think, who's the killer, why is Jigsaw doing this, etc., watch this. But yeah, Jigsaw, played by Tobin Bell. And now just my general thoughts on the movie and anything I didn't like. The only thing I didn't like is I felt like there was too many flashback scenes in the movie. It was all kind of, I thought there would be more action or more, something going on more with the people in the trap, in the main trap itself. So Dr. Gordon and Adam, I thought there would be more action or more stuff going on in this abandoned warehouse between them. The movie was just really a whole lot of flashbacks and reasons for why they're there, etc. So that's one thing. And then I don't know if it's just me, but some of the plot is just kind of hard to wrap your head around. It feels like that they were doing too much throughout the film. It feels like I don't know, it could have been a bit more simple for me, but regardless, I respect the depth to it. I feel like it's not boring that way, but maybe they were trying a bit too hard with some of these, ridiculously sadistic kills and these traps this guy had. And obviously, another thing would be, like, none of this really makes sense. I don't see how this Jigsaw guy could keep getting away with these murders and these traps. There's just no way. But anyways, it's a cool mystery kind of fantasy horror movie. And it's a serial killer type horror movie, so I respect that and I like that. It's not really a supernatural horror. It's just a guy who's bitter and has a lot of hatred in his heart for humanity and people who maybe don't deserve what they have or they don't appreciate what they have. And his main goal through these traps is to make people appreciate their life again and feel grateful for being alive. But yeah, like I said, it's a bit too extravagant for me, and I do think this whole series is a bit overrated. But no, I didn't mind this one. I do get why people like this series, and like this first film in particular. I know I did, but I'm not going to score it as high as some people might. So for me, personally, this thing will get a 6 out of 10. Just because it was so evil, I felt like it should give it a 6.6, or a 6.66 rather. But yeah, it's not too great for me. I mean, I respect it. It just goes too slow sometimes. It's like I said, they were trying too hard, and then there's too many plot twists. It just keeps going in circles, and but other than that, really fucking scary movie. Really good for suspense and the feeling of your trapped, claustrophobic vibe. With Dr. Gordon and Adam. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought of this one. This is Saw 2004. Yeah, really, if I woke up in one of these fucking traps I would be terrified. And what can you really do? You could try to get out, but it's almost a guarantee you're gonna die. And yeah, the ending was really interesting. I felt like it left you on edge. It left you a bit scared and terrified. Put shivers down your spine. I'm not gonna go too much into the story and ruin it for y'all, and give you any spoilers, but in case y'all haven't watched this one yet, I just rewatched it the other day, and I was surprised, but like I said, it's definitely a bit overrated for me still, and I don't know if any of the other Saw films are better than this. I doubt it. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought of this. This is Saw 2004, getting a 6 out of 10 from me. Alright, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Peace.